Welcome to Make Your Remarkable, the podcast where banking meets inspiration. Here, we share stories that spark new ideas, open doors, and remind us what's possible when passion meets purpose. Each week, you'll hear from remarkable guests, leaders, dreamers, doers, and difference makers, who bring fresh perspectives on leadership and culture, community connections, and the path to financial success. Wherever you are on your journey, their stories will encourage you to think bigger, live bolder, and make your own remarkable. So let's dive in. It's time to make your remarkable.
Well, welcome to Make You Remarkable. I am your host, Neil Stevens, and today we're talking about unity and how people coming together can make a real difference in a community. Our guest today is a good friend of mine, Peter Rooney. He's the president of the Atlanta Youth Academy. Peter not only leads the academy, but he's also actively involved in the broader community and educational efforts. He serves on several boards, supports youth, he supports families, nonprofit. He fosters partnerships and expands opportunities for students and families across the metro Atlanta area. Peter, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, and it's great to be here and great to be with you.
Yeah, glad to have you. So let's start with your story. How did you get connected with the Atlanta Youth Academy?
Well, I guess growing up, first I had two parents who valued education and reminded me that it was an equalizer and maybe a get-ahead activity. And then middle school, I had some great teachers, high school, college. And late in my college career, the president of my college asked me to stay and work for him. And little did I know that 42 years later, I'd be working in education. I'm sure some of my teachers are rolling in their grave, knowing I'm the president of a school. But the answer is I came back to Atlanta and after 8 years in Memphis undergrad and working, and Neil, it just was right. And I've stayed in Atlanta and I've answered twice a call to really help the city, I guess. I felt like my 10 years at Oglethorpe were an opportunity to serve an institution that was having a little trouble. And then a mutual friend of ours, Lee Burrows, took me to breakfast and told me that I was going to do this job next at the Atlanta Youth Academy. And I said, no, sir. And then
careful what you say.
Several weeks later, Elizabeth and I are sitting down talking about it. And it's been a blessing to serve the kids of the south side of Atlanta, really an area that doesn't have great educational options.
Right.
And I've been there about 15 years.
You know, it's interesting, and we'll get into the Atlanta Youth Academy more in a minute, but just as a generality, just think about general teachers in general, how we remember our teachers from an early age. I still remember Miss Sayers and Miss Davis and Miss Carmichael like it was yesterday. And those are like my kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade teachers. I remember even in high school, Miss Scott, who pushed me in writing and in English. Teachers make such a mark because we're so impressionable as young students, but also even as high schoolers. What an opportunity to serve, particularly when you're doing it in an area like where you are with Atlanta Youth Academy. What early...
I can match you. Right? The same.
Yeah.
Reese.
Yes.
Keegan.
There you go.
McMullen.
Yep.
Dupriest.
Right.
Right. Brydup. Scott.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm sure our listeners, they're going through their heads right now.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you think about remarkable.
Yep.
They make a mark on, if they're great teachers, they make a mark.
For your entire life.
Promise.
For your entire life. What early experiences at Atlanta Youth Academy helped you realize it wasn't just a school, but a real community?
Yeah, so many examples of people just coming together. But early in my time there, I had the chance to take a young girl to a Sunday school class, Peachtree Road United Methodist. She and her dad and I headed off. She was dressed like Easter Sunday. And just a couple of years later, on Christmas Eve, the apartment tenant below her burned his house down cooking some meth. And they lost everything. They lost everything. Furniture, clothes, Christmas gifts, what few there might have been. And I watched the community come together and equip a new apartment, furnish it, clothe her, give her the school resources she needed. There was never a question. It was just an action that showed me that, this is not just another school. Fast forward, she's a great young lady. She's a friend. She is at one of the top 10 independent schools in the United States.
That's
her
incredible.
life has changed, but it was the support that night and in subsequent days that showed me this is not a typical place.
If it wasn't for that night, the trajectory could have been entirely different.
I would say for me and for her.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, so true. We're talking about unity. And that's a word that we use here at the bank a lot.
Right.
So what does that word mean to you, and kind of how does it play out at the school there in Atlanta?
Yeah, we get very little done alone. I certainly get nothing done alone. Right. And whether it's unity at the house with Elizabeth or unity in my family or unity at work, on the admin team, or with the entire school, it's that coming together as one that makes it all possible. It also is, I would say, unity is our knowing the difference we make and all being willing to pull for that difference. And that's Christ-centered education, that's furthering the kingdom, but that's also just changing one life. And it isn't a one-off job. I mean, we mentioned our teachers, but that coming together of all of those teachers, that broader community, that's really what it means at our place.
Yeah, a lot of times I think some could mistake unity for harmony.
No.
And we all have our warts, right?
That's right.
Every organization has its warts.
That's right.
Whether it's a school like yours or another nonprofit or a church or a bank like we're all imperfect people working for imperfect organizations. And there's always some level of conflict. Even the greatest marriages of the world. My wife and I have been married almost 40 years now, and there's not always perfect harmony. Of course, right. We're imperfect, but there's unity. So, I mean, that's the real difference. And when you can come behind a greater purpose than just what your self-interests are and see others' points of view, you may have disagreements, but in the end, you come together as one. And you've done such a good job with your leadership there with that. What are some things? Talk about how you personally have worked to develop as a leader. I know I've had the opportunity to spend some time around you. I look at you as a very, very strong leader, and to do what you've done there, you have to be. I mean, that's a whole different ballgame when it comes to leadership. So what are some skills that you practice to sharpen your leadership skills?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks. And your comment about your 40 years of marriage, tell your wife I said hi.
Well,
only met her a couple of times, but she's great. I guess the first would be humility to know that I too am, failed. I am inadequate in so many ways. And so leadership might start with the opportunity to look at everyone and say, there isn't anything I'm going to ask you to do. That not only would I not do, I probably have done it. And coming together as flawed folks, we can pull the rope together. Leadership-wise, I try to probably getting better at this. I hope I'm getting better at this. I'm being personal in telling you that I'm intentionally trying to get better in this. I not only can't do it all, I don't need to do it all.
Right.
I need to strengthen the bench.
Right.
I've got incredible people working around me.
Yep.
And folks like Zach Young and Bo Briggs and Larry Team and Savon Hines and Roger Key. I mean, there's just a ton of folks who have poured into me, and I probably can't always say what I learned from each of them, but together I've learned a lot about trying to lead. I've learned a lot about asking someone to carry something out and saying, how can I help you? But getting out of their way. It's not my role to always tell someone what to do.
Yep.
but it's definitely my role to be there if they need me.
Yep.
Or just maybe want to check in.
Yeah.
Did that today, but it's Neil, it's tough sometimes, right?
Yeah. Sure.
We say all the time from a leadership role, it's all of our jobs are equal.
Yeah. Right.
At the youth academy. They're just different.
Yep.
Right? I mean,
all the same
quarterback throws, but the receiver needs to catch. And
Absolutely.
my son would want me to remind you, where are the linemen? He wants you protected.
Somebody miss a block, you don't make a throw.
Yeah, I mean, and leadership is remembering that everyone's role.
That's right.
Is vital.
Well, the best examples of unity in companies I've seen have been rooted and grounded in great leadership. And so I think the unity that you've created there at the Atlanta Youth Academy is a reflection of your leadership, which you're right, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
But it takes a great leader to bring that unity together.
Neil, you say that, and I appreciate the compliment. It's a little, I don't know that this works. It's going in two different directions in the same sentence. I'm both intentional and purposefully inefficient. I'm intentional about where I think we need to go and sharing a vision, sharing a dream, asking for buy-in to that vision.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also purposefully inefficient, doing things maybe the wrong way, but purposefully to say, how could you and I work on this together to make the final decision? Or how could two donors and I work on it together? Or a third grade teacher, the PE teacher and the art teacher, and I all work on it to help this one student. Very inefficient, but purposefully so. There are a lot of folks around me who would say, gosh, purposefully inefficient would be an important thing to say about his leadership style.
Well, but you're growing leader. When you do that, you're growing leaders. I don't even see that as inefficient. It may seem, but at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're creating a system that's sustainable.
That's right.
That lives beyond you.
That's right.
And that's what great leaders do. They build a structure where you could step out for a period of time and it keep going without you being there. I'm going to take that a step further.
Sure.
You talked about the teachers that you work around and being intentionally inefficient with them. What have the students taught you about leadership?
Yeah, I every day, really, they remind me about modeling, mentoring, giving them the example that they need. So many of our students don't have a male influence, a strong male influence in their life. And although I don't look like our students, I think many of them appreciate the role modeling that happens. So they've taught me that to be a good leader, you do have to hold yourself to a higher standard. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard and remember that there are folks you don't even see looking who are watching every action and every word, and also learning that you fall short all the time. And it's how you recover and how you move from that to rebuild, maybe. But it's
true.
They've taught me that sometimes our goals, Neil, are measured in dollars or square footage or high school placement or scholarship. But, it's really, at the end of the day, our job is to shape, to transform lives, to give an opportunity. The numbers count. But if every student walks in the door and knows that they're enough, they were created enough, that they are seen, that they are heard, that we love them. It's one of the things I've learned that the students have taught me about leadership is, in a lot of places you can't share your faith, and you definitely don't look at a room full of eighth graders and say, "Hey, do you know I love you this Easter?"
Yeah. Right.
Golly, it's great to see you. You've got a lot going on in your family. Let your mother know.
Yep.
I love her and I'm here for her.
Yep.
And it is real at our place.
Well, and
you've seen it.
Well, that's what I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
And it's real. There's two things that stuck out to me when I visited your school. Number one, how you intentionally made it around, and you know something very personal and detailed about every single teacher and student that you introduced me to. There wasn't a time when you just said, this is so-and-so, call their name, but you would tell me something about them.
Yes, sir.
And I could watch their eyes light up as you were talking about them, students and teachers alike.
But Neil, the teachers we mentioned by name earlier, they exhibited that to you and me. They knew something about us, even if in my case it was you should be studying more.
Yeah.
But isn't that great that we had those great role models?
That's true. But I mean, it's important. That is so incredible. I think that builds unity when you do that. But they also are running to a purpose. I mean, because unlike a lot of organizations that come for the paycheck,
right.
I mean, they're not there for the paycheck, and the ones that I've met, the teachers I've met, they could go somewhere for a paycheck. They're not. They're not the ones that like have been rejected by
No, sir.
They are top brass.
That's correct.
And so they're compelled by the mission of that school.
So back to unity, right? If we all see that, teacher, learning specialist, librarian, president, business manager, and we all see that. And we can help the parent engage with us in that unity. We've got a shot.
Yeah.
We've got a shot at every time.
Yep.
Every time. And we like to say all of God's children deserve a shot.
Yep.
So let's go.
Yep.
Unity.
What's a day look like for you?
Yeah. Showering out the door, a breakfast meeting at 7 or 7:15. Meetings on campus, the opportunity to walk the hall, the opportunity to check in with folks who work with me, and could do more of that. Always should try to do more of that. Often there's a lunch meeting, maybe with a donor. We're about 96% philanthropic.
That's big.
Not a state,
a lot of responsibility.
Not a federal dollar. And so we're meeting with a foundation, we're meeting with a donor, we're meeting with someone who's not just a donor, but someone who cares about. I met with a graduate earlier today. He dropped by my office. He's a young freshman at the Macaulay School in Chattanooga. And he and I took a minute to call a great friend of mine, Ben, who loves Macaulay, just to say to Ben, hey, man, it's still great up there. And Mr. Dorr is right here with me and we just wanted to, that's unity. Mm-hmm. It's all coming together for the benefit of that one young man. And he has lived through a lot.
Yeah.
Came in as a third grader and was quiet, very quiet. Developed an interest in sport. We don't turn out a lot of great athletes, but he would be an exception for sure. I think he received D1 offers before he played his first high school game.
Wow.
But he knows who he is. He knows whose he is. He knows he's solid with or without sports. He's enough.
Yep.
Well, we don't have a shot without all the teachers, without the business office. We don't have a shot without that donor. We don't have a shot, but unity gives us the shot.
So this is, most organizations, growth is a beneficial thing because, a private school, for example, more growth is more tuition, it's more help.
And to the bottom line.
A bank like ours, more customers, it's more growth, it's more it's more profit to the bottom line. We're trying to grow our customers every day. For you, you're growing, but it's the opposite effect.
It is.
So you got to raise more.
Yeah, so when I came to the school 15 years ago, we had one classroom per grade. And we just 5 years ago opened about a $13 million facility. We'll break ground, I hope, if the board approves it, in about 14 months on a $18 million facility. Those two combined will allow us to add yet another classroom per grade. We'll grow from about 160 to about 290. The catch is, to your point, it's not more tuition coming in. Our median family income's about 20.
Mm-hmm.
They pay 8% of their household income.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that pays for breakfast and lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a field trip.
Yep.
Definitely not your teacher and a light bill. But God's children deserve that opportunity. And that's our point. It's not an entitlement. It's an opportunity. Be prepared, claim it. But you're right. As we grow, it's a deeper hole.
But
we'll get there.
Well, there's got to be then, given that,
Yeah.
I mean, in your growth trajectory and what you've done,
right?
There's also got to be unity around the donors. I mean, you've got to create that. How do you continue to grow that?
Yeah.
Is that something, I guess that's a big part of what you do every day.
It is.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my wife would say I'm a friend raiser. But Absolutely. I need to raise some funds. And if I don't raise enough funds, I'm going to go make friends somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, education is something we can all rally around. And so when we talk about success stories, Neil, and you've heard some of them from me, folks go, I could be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we let them know that they're right. They could be a part of it. We do a lot of friend raising. It's an auction the first Sunday in December. It's the only thing we do on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Christmas time auction, and folks buy a lot of Christmas gifts, but boy, we meet a lot of friends. Try to get them involved as mentors. All of our students have mentors.
Mm-hmm.
All of our students have an opportunity to have someone that's one remove from their family. They, probably have zero connection, but that's someone lifting them up. So we do a spring event, April 22nd this year. We'll try to gather some folks and just tell the story of what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
In a city where often people will talk about what doesn't work in education.
Yep.
We're probably a good thing to know, because if someone brings up the negative, you can quickly say, well, let me tell you, let me tell you where I've met some teachers who are changing lives every minute of every day. And so, we bring unity of message and then share the vision. And we hope folks say, I get it. Why wouldn't you grow if you can? To which we would quickly, hopefully appropriately say, well, we can, but we need your help.
Mm-hmm. You're just passionate about them. I mean, I could just tell when I visited the school, just talking to you today, there's just this passion. What draws you? What creates that passion in your heart to do what you do? Because what you do is not, like we said earlier, it's not easy. It's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's emotional. At times, it's ugly. During some of the social injustice periods 5 years ago, or at times when, COVID shuts the door as you try to open a new building, or with an economic turn that leads a parent to come in who's paying $116 a month, and they come in to say, I can't do it, and I'm scared because I don't know how my child will eat if we're not enrolled in this school. Well, that's both hard, and it's the creation of the passion. Last May, you talk about where does the passion come from? It's one student at a time. Last May, I was given the opportunity to take a graduate to Front Royal, Virginia, to a great little school called Randolph-Macon Academy. He would have been the only freshman there going into the 9th grade who had never stepped foot on the campus. He had been sold. He totally wanted a boarding school. The president of the school actually came to campus and personally said, I've got a spot for you. When a lot's going on that's chaotic in your house and you've made the decision to go to boarding school, well, I was just encouraged to get him up there during the summer. And so I took he and his grandmother, and he had never been to D.C., so we drove through the district and saw the monuments. And I said, I'll be right here on the curb. The King Monument's over there. I'll be right here on the curb, go around the corner and go up the steps to the Supreme Court. He was just blown away by the history, by the impact, the opportunity given to him. And then we drove about an hour to Front Royal. And as we entered town, I knew to point out to him, look at the highway sign, the highway marker. It's naming that this is the exit for your school. He was arriving. He was enough. He was arriving at a place that was going to invest $50,000 plus a year in him. And it had been a particularly traumatic time that weekend in his life. And I called ahead, and the head of school said, do you know where to park? And I said, I do. And I said, we're pulling up the hill. The deer moved out of my way. We're pulling up the hill. It's beautiful. And he said, all right, we'll pull in where I told you to park. And as I pulled in, I got out, and he was standing on the steps and said, I won't use the young man's name, but TF, welcome home. And it's the emotion of that experience. And then we go to the airport and get jacked around a little bit, which can happen in the summer in D.C. with the weather. And we were about 4.5 hours delayed, and just 15 minutes before our flight, maybe 20, the governor of our state, Brian Kemp, came walking down with Capitol Security, and I went over and said hi and told him why I was there. And he said, well, is he with you? And I said, yeah, he's right over here in the red jacket. And he said, I'd like to speak to him. So here's our governor at an important time in our state. And he looks at this young man and he says, I know why you're up here, and I know Front Royal, and I know Randolph-Macon, and you're going to a good school. And I want you to come up here and get everything you can get, and then come home. Georgia needs young men like you.
Wow.
How do you not find passion to go in tomorrow and look for the next young man?
You got me fired up.
You know what I mean?
You got a job?
One at a time.
You got a job?
Actually, we did.
You got me
you want
fired
a classroom
up.
teacher?
I tell you something, man. This is
no. I mean,
I see it.
One at a time.
That's where. I mean, when you have that type of passion, you run towards it, and it's just that's really incredible.
Well, I come through the door of your bank, and you're trying to create remarkable experiences for your client. We not only want this young man to have remarkable, we want the all-important grandmother, in case mom's not there. We want grandmother to have remarkable.
Sure.
To know he earned this.
Yep.
We didn't sell him for it.
Yep.
He chose boarding. He chose from his options. And it's funny, I called him today as I drove over from Atlanta, just because I know he's home for spring break. And one of his classmates was here, and he said they were going for pizza tonight. And I called him, and he answered. Actually, he called me back, and when he saw who it was, and said, how are you? And he said, Miss Rooney, I'm home. I found my home up there. Good to be home here with grandmother. But I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
That's all you want. That's what, how do you get the passion? How do you find the energy?
Yeah.
And it's back to unity.
And that's unity.
It's back to unity.
I was going to say, that's unity. Yeah.
It's the head of school. It's their financial aid staff.
Yep.
It's our people. It's a teacher. Hey, so the day he was leaving for Randolph-Macon, he came in to see us. I asked him to. And he came in to see us, and all of his teachers gathered in the lobby. You've been in that lobby. And we handed him a picture of he and the governor.
Wow.
Autographed, keep chopping and come home.
Wow.
Keep chopping and come home.
Wow.
How many 8th graders from the inner city
Unbelievable.
have had that opportunity?
And he's leaving fired up.
He is,
and he'll come home.
He is enough.
He will come home. So you've already really answered this, but in a quick sentence or two, and a kind of counterintuitive to even ask this question, but we always ask it, how do you make your remarkable?
Well, I hope I'm a good husband and a faithful Christian man and a good husband and a good dad and a good father-in-law and neighbor, sibling. But at the office, Neil, it's you can't be tired if you know that her apartment burned to the ground on Christmas Eve. And you can't be tired if he's tired in the D.C. airport wondering probably, is all this worth it? We've been delayed and delayed and then there's someone who can encourage him in a way that not many of us get. Or maybe it's a graduation this year with Margaret Lay, or maybe it's the 8th grade graduation with Sarah Warren, who herself is going through a lot as the presiding judge of the Georgia Supreme Court. And for her to take time and just come pour into these 8th graders about the power, the equalizer, the get ahead that education provides. Our remarkable is one day and one meeting and one student, hopefully one teacher at a time. And
amen.
And you've seen it.
Amen. Amen to that. Peter Rooney, Atlanta Youth Academy, doing incredible work. If our listeners want to know more about Atlanta Youth Academy, about how they can support it, how they can give, how they can connect with you, how do they connect with you?
If you call the office and ask for Peter, they'll get me. But if you were to reach out via email, it would be peterr@atlantayouthacademy.com. If it's a phone call, it's 404-966-0177. If it's pulling into 2120 Forest Park Road in the south side of Atlanta, down beyond the zoo, beyond the federal pen, I promise you we'll greet you. We'll make you wear a visitor badge, but we'll probably impact your life. So if you want to reach out, we're absolutely every day looking for the opportunity to give one more person a remarkable experience.
Well, this has been an incredible discussion about unity and what it can do for a community, and the just the reach it has, even with this young man you were talking about. So thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I'm energized. I'm excited, and we really appreciate you being our guest on the show today.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate the bank, and appreciate you giving me the opportunity to maybe share with one more person the good work that our teachers are doing.
Absolutely. Well, keep it up.
Blessings.
We appreciate it. All right. See ya.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Make Your Remarkable. If you enjoyed the conversation, leave us a review, share it with a friend, or follow us on social media at Oconee State Bank and at remarkable_mortgage for more remarkable insights. And remember, at the heart of every journey, it's not about the process. It's about the purpose you're building, one bold step at a time. Until next time, keep making your remarkable.